Hi, I'm continuing the study of the Abomination of Desolation. I left off part 3 where I was talking about Luke's account. This is part 4. Hopefully this is the last part. So in Luke's account, Luke's a little bit more, he gives a little bit more detail than Matthew's account and then Mark's account. You'll see what I mean when I read Luke 21:20. Now, Jesus is getting ready to give the disciples a big hint of what they need to look for when this is getting ready to transpire. So let's read this account in Luke 21:20. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, let them which are in the midst of it depart out. So, like I said previously, Luke is the only gospel that gives this hint of what is going to precede the abomination of desolation. Jerusalem is going to be surrounded by the Roman armies. So let's fast forward to 70 AD. Now the disciples see this happening right before their eyes, and in back of their mind they could remember the words that Jesus told them. Hey, when this happens, it's your time to get out, your time to escape. So that is a big hint. I mean, I can't stress that anymore. So obviously we know, like I said before, previous part of the study, that this is a past event. It's not a future, because if you're expecting this event to be futuristic, well, you're looking for the wrong things. If you look in Mark I take that back, in Matthew chapter 24, when Jesus is getting ready to tell them what they need to look for before the end of the world, before his second coming, before the abomination of desolation, you know, he's giving them hints. Same way he gave them hints here in Luke, you know, he also gave it to us for the sign of his second coming and the end of the world. So we need to pay attention so that way we don't miss out as the end of the world approaches, as his second coming approaches. So that's why I believe it's important to, when there's a clue given in the Bible, we need to focus on it, really pay attention. So now, next I want to focus on, you know, why did the abomination of desolation happen to Jerusalem? Why did it happen to the Jewish people? And I think if this, you know, there's a lot of scriptures in the Old Testament that talked about, you know, why it happened. You know, look at the Jews, the way they lived throughout history. But I'm just going to read it in Luke chapter 19. It kind of talks about one of the reasons why it happened. It's not the only reason, but it's sure enough, it's certainly one other reason why the abomination of desolation is going to happen to Jerusalem and Jewish people. This is Luke 19:41 through 44. And when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it, saying, If thou hadst known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace, but now they are hid from thine eyes. For the day shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children with thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. So it's clear right here. It says, because they did not know their time of visitation. Not only that, the Jews rejected people. You know, they continued with their life, business as usual, after Jesus died. Now, if let's go to Daniel chapter 9, verse 26, to show that this event is a past event, the abomination of desolation. 9:26. Daniel said, after the Messiah is cut off, after week 69, the prince is going to come, destroy the city and the sanctuary. So we know what happened. This is a time talking about 70 AD. This is not futuristic. This is not well, it's futuristic to the disciples here, but not to us. This is past to us. This is not an end time event that's going to happen. It already happened. Next thing that I want to mention is, let's go back to Matthew 24. Going back again, how the questions that was posed to Jesus by the disciples. Matthew 24, and I stressed that in the first, I believe, first or second part of this video, how the way the questions were answered, people link the abomination of desolation with end time events, and it's not. Like you have to look. The disciples is asking Jesus, in let me just read it here, Matthew 24, verse 1. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, see not all these things. Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? So now, what things? Well, the things that Jesus just told them, not one stone is going to be left upon another. So that's why when further on, when you go verse 15 through 22, when Jesus starts answering the question, he's talking about when there won't be one stone left upon another. That's when Jerusalem is going to be surrounded by the Roman soldiers. The abomination of desolation, that's a time that it occurred. Once again, I'll say it again. That's when the abomination of desolation occurred, AD 70. It is not futuristic event. Next thing that I want to focus on, let's go back to Luke 21. Let me find it here. Luke 21, let's continue reading Luke's account of this event. Let's go to verse 22. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. So now, Luke says, these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. What things? As I said previously, what Ezekiel said. Read all of Ezekiel, chapter 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Read Isaiah, read Jeremiah. Do your own research. Don't take my words, because, like I said, this is my my point of view, my take on it. I'm not saying that I know everything, but this is what I believe the abomination of desolation is. You know, I'm open to comments, to correction. If I made a mistake, feel free to let me know where I said something wrong, if I misquoted something. But once again, I just want to say this. This is an event that we don't need to look for in the end times. Because what is being taught now in a lot of churches is that in the future, in the far future, whenever the end time starts, they say during halfway through the tribulation period, the Antichrist is going to sit in this supposed temple that the Jewish people are trying to build and cause this abomination desolation. Well, that's not going to happen because, like I said, it's a past event. So if you're looking for that, you're gonna miss out. As I said previously, look at the signs that Jesus gives to us when he talks about the end of the world before his second coming. He does not mention abomination and desolation that's going to happen. And I just want to end it there because I think I've pretty much covered it. I don't want to keep repeating myself, saying the same thing over again. So just want to say thanks for listening, and please feel free to comment. Thank you.